Good morning, beautiful people. Happy it's the middle of the week. Happy Wednesday. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. This is LoveBabz, Love Talk. It's another beautiful day in the Elm. These last couple of days have been amazing. Although in the evenings it's been a little too cool to porch, but in the early afternoons it's not a bad idea. So, let me get into it. I had such a good time last night. So last night was Pecha Kucha. I stepped in for Matt Wilcox. Joanne and Matt Wilcox are the keepers of Pechacucha in New Haven, and I've done it twice. I've done it twice, and I love it. But Matt couldn't do it, so Joanne asked me. Actually, she didn't ask me first. She asked two other people. I was the first one to respond. And I'm so glad I did because I loved every minute of it. So, it was hosted at the East Rock Brewing Company, which is over there on Nickel Street, right? Like right there next to Mactivity and around the corner from Corsair. I mean, it was all, just all the things. And it was full. It was packed. It was a packed house. I got to see people I haven't seen in a very long time. People I haven't seen pre-pandemic. That's how nice it was. I enjoyed myself so much. And good beer too. So that's that. And they had a little restaurant over there in the food hall. Taquero de Rojas was the food of choice that night. So you could buy tacos or burritos or tostados or all the things. So I had a chicken burrito, which was really good. Although this morning it let me know I'm an old lady. So anyway, it was a good night. It was 9 presenters, and it was just one conversation after another. Miss Tina with her redneck eulogy. She was stunning. I know she was nervous, but she did an amazing job. And her pictures are just so beautiful. They were just so beautiful. So it was nice to see her in a different element. And that's the thing about Pecha Kucha. It will push you out of your usual element. I enjoyed Julia with her Italian rebel badassery. I loved it. Susan Clinard, who has the most gifted artistry, And then she had the woman from Music Haven, who I am such a fan of Music Haven. And she really embodied and embraced what Pecha Kucha could be, like when you use your imagination. I mean, everybody was amazing, but Susan Clinard brought a little, like she went next level Pecha Kucha, which was beautiful. So she showed her artistry, and then she had the woman from she had the woman from Music Haven play the violin up against like a call and response. If that's not the blackest thing I've ever seen, that's very black. Call and response is very black people. And if you don't know what call and response is, you ain't been to black church. If you go to black church, you know what call and response is. I don't got time to bring you up on it. Go Google or YouTube it or whatever. But call and response is very black church. And Susan Clinard just like brought call and response. And it was so holy. It was so I don't even know what to tell you. So it was Yara Matya, Yara, Yaira Matya from Music Haven, and she just played beautifully. I mean, it was just pure magic, pure magic. Mindy Engler was funny and charming up there with her single mother's discount card. I mean, she was really good. I mean, everybody was so amazing. I learned something about the Farmington Canal and artwork that's there and parts of it. I learned about the P.T. Barnum circus that had a home here in New Haven for a minute. very interesting over on Kimberly Avenue in the Kimberly Avenue Park. I learned about that. I learned about how East Rock Park was created and how Edgewood Park was created. And it's hard to imagine that all that was farmland. Like all of it was farmland. So it was great. I saw so many people last night. Hey, Joanne Scully. Joanne Scully listens every morning. She gets in her car from like 9:05 to get to her job like 9:20. And she listens in between. So, hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Joanne Scully. Hey. Oh, let me tell you, she had a great 50th birthday party too. She had a fabulous red dress. And I think this was just before the pandemic jumped off. She got her birthday celebration in downtown above Firehouse 12. There's a suite of there's an apartment up there, and I guess it was Airbnb or whatever. But it was made. That was a fabulous party. In a fabulous space with a fabulous birthday girl. So anyway, Joanne Scully, I really enjoyed that party. It was a wonderful, wonderful night. Tim Kaine played some a little Erkstein. Oh, it was just, he plays that horn beautifully. You know, I'm telling you, all you parents that making your kids play music, it pays off. I told that to Miss Yaira. I said, listen, you know, I know all the times your parents made you practice when you wanted to be playing with dolls or outside or whatever. And your parents was like, hell no, you're going to go play this violin that we done paid good money for. And here you are, an extraordinary artist. So, I mean, you know, that's a testament to parents. Parents always have a bigger vision than kids. And that's the joy and the curse of parenting. You know, when to say, you know, when a kid whines and says, I don't want to do it, you know, or do you enforce like, hey, you're gonna finish out this lesson. You're gonna stick this out. And I was that kind of parent. I was like, no, you're not gonna quit. You're gonna finish up this cycle. And if you want to quit after that, okay. And honest to God, they never really wanted to quit in the end. They wanted to just, I want to do it, I want to keep going, you know. So anyway, it really was the power of simple story last night. It really was good. I got to see Laura Herskovitz, who I never get to see. Like I never see her in person. I just follow her tours around. And so we had a little conversation last night. She said, you know, she wants to put more time in her community instead of, you know, running around the country doing these tours. And I understood exactly what she meant. You know, I get it. And she's she's one of my favorite folk people. You know, she has such a beautiful voice and such a talent, and she's so good with the song. She really is. And I got to be in her video, I don't know, a couple of falls ago. Oh, it was cold up there at Gillette Castle, but it was worth it because it was such a beautiful video. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So it was a good night. I saw my old neighbors from Beaver Hill. They still live in Beaver Hill. I got a chance to see them. It was great. Their son, who I remember as a baby, is now 18, looking at colleges. Woo! You know, time just marches on. Time just marches on. So it was a lot of people in the room. It was a great lot. It was Karima, my Sora Karima Meekins Weber came and hung out for the night and drank a flight of beers. Of course, Ife was there hanging out. So we had a good time. It was a nice group of folks who truly enjoyed themselves. I saw Louise and Kathy Hargity. They moved to Cromwell. They sold their house. I remember seeing them pack up the house, and then I don't know, I must have missed all the part where they moved, but they moved. So, and having a good conversation with Louise about, listen, at 72, I ain't trying to shovel. I'm not trying to cut grass. I was like, baby, I'm 59. I don't feel like doing any of that either. Something happens to us after we raise children. Like, this is not worth it anymore. So anyway, it's a new day. That was my night last night. It was really good. I was over at Possible Futures yesterday, sitting in on I had to go by and get some soap because I love this little soap that they sell over there in that Bloom, but Bloom wasn't open. I rode by Bloom, but they weren't open. So, I turned around and made my way to Possible Futures and some cards, some beautiful, beautiful note cards. I love these note cards by this sister who is selling them on Martha's Vineyard. She from what I understand from Lauren, she was on Martha's Vineyard. She's looking for good cards and she couldn't find them, so she made them. And I'm telling you, this is such a beautiful bunch of cards, and they're black AF, but they are just well done. I love a well done card. I really do. And it's one of these cards where I may not mail it, may just that's the problem with me. I see stuff and then I want to keep it. Can't keep cards, you got to give away. So anyway, this is Oak Bluffs. And yes, it reminds you of Oak Bluff. So I might frame this one because it makes me think of Martha's Vineyard. I mean, it's supposed to because it says Oak Bluffs on the lifeguard station. But they are beautiful. And this one is like books of all the Black authors, Toni Morrison, Bell Hooks, Gail Jones, Nikki Giovanni. And it's just so well done. So beautiful. So anyway, keep one, save one, send one. Someofuscards.com. It's a woman-centered, Black-owned, life-affirming, planet-sustaining paper and card company that supports safety, happiness, and peace as basic human rights. I love these cards. I'm going to send them to people. Man, God help me if she makes some Christmas cards or some old holiday thing, because I have a ridiculously long Christmas. I send out about 150 Christmas cards every year, and I handwrite them. So I need to get started. I told myself I was going to get started. I always tell myself I'm going to get started before Thanksgiving. I never do. I always start right after Thanksgiving, and then it's like a push to get through December to get them all out before Christmas, which is fine because Christmas really starts on December 25th, contrary to what you pseudo-Christians think. The 12 days of Christmas start the 25th. On the first day of Christmas, my true listen to me. That starts on December 25th. So anyway, I have those cards. I'm going to get them in the mail because there's people I want to write to. So yeah, so it was Pechacucha, New Haven was the bomb last night. I saw Jacob Perdón was in the room, and a whole bunch of the Long Wharf Theater folks, the staff anyway, Tim Yeager, it was a bunch of folks. And I had such a good time. And saw people I hadn't seen pre-pandemic. And that was worth everything, to just be in the space with people in the chat, get hugs. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. That kind of thing. It was good. It was really, really good. And the crowd was in its right mind. You know what I mean? Like they were really into it. And that's what you need for Pechacucha. You need people to be enthusiastic about every story. And you can't help but be enthusiastic about every story because they're all good. So, whoop, Harry, are you sending me a message? What's the message? I have to pick up my phone and make sure I have it in front of me. No, I don't have a guest today. My guest today is going to be tomorrow. I think. I have en route tomorrow. And then I think I have a guest at 9:15. I think. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong day. Yes, I have a guest tomorrow at 9:15. The Gorman Bouchard at 9:15 to talk about the New Haven Docs Film Festival, and then en route tomorrow at 10:15 because we got to give it to ancestors. I am committed to this ancestor. Not worship. We're not worshiping the ancestors. What we're doing is just being with ancestors. So, yeah. So it was good. It was yesterday was good. So I had lunch. I had a late lunch with my with my LSAT coach from the Yale Access to Law School program. And I just love her, Demi Moore. She's adorable. She's smart as all get up. Smart. So anyway, So I was supposed to get up this morning and start my LSAT studies. Lord black Jesus. I woke up at 6:45, which is fine if I actually would have gotten up. I didn't. What I did was I said, oh, 6:45, I'll wake up at 7:30, which is not hard for me because I don't use an alarm clock. I just tell myself and it just happens. Well, I told myself, oh, I'll wake up at 7:30. Well, I woke up at 8 o'clock. And 8 o'clock is not enough time to crack open what I need to crack open to study. So I didn't study. What I did was I lounged in the bed until it was time for me to get up, take a shower, and get on air. So we'll start again tomorrow. Or, yeah, tomorrow. I'm going to be at the library this evening because I want to hear the conversation on James Baldwin between Judge Graves and Joel, who is part of in residency at the New Haven Symphony. So that's what I want to do. So it's going to be at the Stetson this evening from 6 to 8, I believe. I hope I don't have to register because God knows, all these things you have to register for. But that's where I'm going to go tonight. And let me just see. Let me see if I could just pull it up. So many things to do. I don't understand how people are like, oh, there's nothing to do in New Haven. I just have to look at them like, are you smoking crack? Like, what is? There's so many things to do in New Haven that I have to skip stuff. There's so many things happening that I have to skip stuff. So I need to get over with my tickets for the symphony because I don't want to miss a couple of things. To Awaken the Sleeper, which is Sunday, October 23rd. I don't want to miss this. And it's at Lyman. You don't want to miss it either. So To Awaken the Sleeper. And this is Joel Thompson's To Awaken the Sleeper, the New England premiere. You don't want to miss this. He's such a talented young man. And I just hang on his every word. And I think him and Alistair Neal are going to be my guests toward, closer to the time of the concert. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. He's so talented. But anyway, Joel Thompson is going to be in conversation with Judge Clifton Graves today at the New Haven Public Library, the Stetson over there in Dixwell. So here it is. So listen, discuss, learn, and connect. James Baldwin. So that's today from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Stetson. And I hope that people come out for this because they will be discussing the life impact of James Baldwin. And
you're listening to LoveBabz LoveTalk on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. Babz will be right back. This is Harry Droz. Hey, do you see me? No. What? Why can't you see me? Let's try this. All right, I'm not sure what went on. I think Zoom froze on Babz, and it must have froze on me because you can't see me either. Let's try this. So let me play some music, and we'll be right back. I gotta figure this out. Not sure if it's a glitch in the matrix, or am I gonna have to reset Zoom? So I'll be right back. You're listening to LoveBabz LoveTalk on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Monday morning, and I'm sick of this job already. When Tuesday gets here, for the hump day. Wednesday night, calling my girls, making sure our plans are still tight. Thursday brings a smile, 'cause I won't be putting up with this bull in a little while. Me and my girls, we turned it up last week. Boys love this club 'cause ladies get in free. We love to party, dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400, and we do it again. 'Cause I wanna dance all night. Oh boy, all night, all night. It's funny, but I don't have the strength to put up with the things that my boss is expecting me to. Even though
All right. You listening to Harry on LoveBabz LoveTalk. So there was an internet glitch, and I guess it happened here and over there in Babz spot where she's broadcasting from, the Love Cave, right? So let's let Babz back in, and let's see what we have in store, because I know she was in the middle of telling you something. Which she's back. Guess who's back?
I don't know what happened, Harry.
I think it was here too, because I couldn't get myself Zoom to see me either. So I was trying to say stuff, but so I went to music for a second,
I think the Russians are onto us.
But
I think they've been onto us, though, haven't they?
It happens.
We're back. Sorry, people. I know people like to listen, and they're like, "What is going on? Why are they always falling out?"
I was watching a news broadcast, and the same thing happened with them. Right? They had like 4 boxes,
really?
with different people, and all of a sudden 3 boxes disappeared, and they were like, "Oh no, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've been there."
With all this technology, Harry, you know what? If Elon Musk wanted to be real helpful, and he doesn't, he would strengthen this internet. Because I think people would pay good money for a solid premium internet, Harry.
Well, he's working on it, but it's not gonna help if anything comes from space, right? Because his internet is all satellite based. So he's I think he has more satellites
than
anybody right now, right?
Okay.
Up in the sky. So this is how Ukraine has internet and stuff.
Yes, that's true.
So he's giving them internet, but the problem is, if something ever happens in space, and even Russia was threatening to shoot down his satellite.
Russia's running out of ammunition.
Well, maybe they're saving it for the satellites.
They got to knock on their neighbors' doors. You got some ammunition, Harry. They're running out of ammunition. Now they got to go borrow some ammunition from neighbors.
Well, then
I don't know what neighbors. Who's gonna loan them ammunition? Who?
They're in discussions with terrorists now too, because they need people to join their army. They're like, we pay good. You might die pretty quickly, or
wait. But, is there like a grinder of terror? Like, how do you find a terrorist, Harry?
Well, okay, the Chechen army and all of that stuff. He's trying to get them to join the fight. To come and be mercenaries for him and stuff like that.
And what are they saying?
Well, I mean, mercenaries are mercenaries, but
well, yeah, Harry, a good mercenary don't really have a moral code.
We have them here. We have Black Ops organizations here that might be going to the highest bidder. Who knows if we'll be shooting at ourselves?
That's what I mean. Can you really trust a mercenary though? Can you really? Because if the call is to the highest bidder, Harry, then you never really have anybody on your team. I mean, you
Yeah.
I don't know how that works unless there's some code we don't know about.
I actually saw that. I was watching some some detective show this weekend, and the guy bought the loyalty of somebody, and then that guy he bought went and turned on him because he said, "You got outbid." You can't buy loyalty because you get
how you
outbid.
do that? There's always gonna be somebody with more money than you, Harry.
Yeah.
Who's gonna like risk it all with their money? Like I don't get it. Okay.
Yeah. So, any hoots, I will be right back. I will join you in a little while. I'm working on stuff. Try not to disappear on me again.
I'll do my best, but you know I don't control these
Yeah,
internets.
That's what I tell people. That they're like, the internet's down. I'm like, I'm not Xfinity. I don't know what you want me to do.
I mean, I don't even know which one. There's no good service. They're all the same.
But this ain't bad because this was just a hiccup.
Yeah, at least
Right?
I got back on.
A glitch in the matrix.
Yeah.
Which we live in the matrix.
We'll see. So. I guess fiber optics, and we get that.
Yeah, but the scary part is that it's Frontier offering fiber optics now, right?
I know. See, that's the
It's
thing
like,
that everybody's like, yeah, Frontier's offering it.
We're like, oh my god, we know how DSL went with them. It sucked. And then they tell you fiber optics, but I haven't seen nobody laying cable in my neighborhood.
Me either, Harry. So I don't
don't believe you. I don't believe that I have fiber optics. I want to see, people digging in the ground and laying cable before you start advertising all over the place like everybody has it.
That you can't, and then you were like, oh, we're not in that community yet.
Yeah.
We're not in that. Well, where are you exactly? I was like, I know.
They're like, well,
we're
we're in the square radius right around Worcester Square Park. So if you live in that area, no, yeah, I don't live there.
I know.
So don't put that commercial in my neighborhood. How about you do a target audience?
Oh, I'm just waiting for somebody. Is there no other systems? None? Come on,
well,
y'all.
Actually, Xfinity has it. The problem is that it's really expensive right now.
Oh.
So it's just like we were looking to put it here in the office to just have that stable because we have, especially Thursdays is bottleneck days. I don't know if everybody's publishing. I mean, it's different here in this office, right? You have La Voz, that's their publishing day. It's New Haven Independence Day, and it's like the internet turns into a crawl. No matter how much we've upped it, right? On each side we've upped it, and it's like it still goes to a crawl, and it's a bottleneck that not even Xfinity could, control. Because we're all going through certain servers. But
yep. This is true.
So they tell us fiber optic will change that because there's a dedicated line and yada yada.
Yeah. And then there'll be some problem with that, Harry. There'll be some mess.
Yeah, but right. So do you want to pay $800 a month for a dedicated line? It's like no, we got to pay people. No. That's just one of the bills we have to pay.
Yeah, so we'll just suffer through. We'll go with the dropouts every now and again.
Yeah, so. but actually they've been since we switched to Xfinity, we've had a couple of things, but it's usually some DNS server in California that went down or something like that. But I remember when we had DSL. It was like Russian roulette. You just didn't know whether you're gonna be on that day. So I gotta give it to Xfinity with that. At least they're better than Frontier.
Well,
unless Frontier wants to sponsor the show, then we'll talk you up.
Well, yeah. Listen, I have Frontier at my house, Harry. So
there you go. Well, there you go. I mean, that's
And I want something else. I might have to break down and pay more money to
Wait a minute.
go
Wait a
back to
minute.
Xfinity. I had Xfinity at my house on Bellevue, and I love getting all the channels. I'm limited to what I could get with Frontier. It is very limiting. I don't get nearly
Well,
the stuff that I want.
they threw in the channels with me, with Xfinity. Oh, they say that, but the price went up. Right. So I have to control everything from my house. So I have to have a really high speed, and I do have a high speed, but like I said, it costs money to get a high speed. So I'm paying $200 a month for that.
You have on color. What is going on?
I have on
Is
color.
that camouflage?
It's camouflage gray.
I've never seen you in that.
Nice of you to notice, Babz.
I'm not like you, Harry.
You didn't notice my earrings. Oh, I got my headset on.
I know you got on a new hat. You got are these just clothes you're shopping your closet? Is that what you're doing?
Myrtle Beach. No, actually, this is I put this shirt on. It looks like we call it a bata, but it's like a robe or pajamas. You know, the pullover.
Okay,
pajama.
why are you still wearing clothes that are too big?
Well,
You can go down 3 or 4 sizes.
I looked at my closet and I was like,
Lord.
But you know what? Since it looks like I'm either shrinking in height too. I think I must have had like at least 1.5 inches of fat in my heels. I don't know. But I'm shrinking, Babz. I don't know if it's age,
It's age, Harry.
but as I'm losing weight, I'm getting shorter.
You think so?
Yeah. So
I don't think you're getting shorter. I think your clothes,
yeah, the clothes just looks like
the clothes are just
because
falling down.
yeah, because the belly used to hold the shirt up
Yes.
and everything. Now the shirt's to my knees. It's like
So why don't you pack all those up, Harry, and give them to somebody who could benefit and use them?
but you got to admit this is a nice shirt.
Well, it's because you're sitting down. I can't see it go to the floor.
That's what Karen said today. She's like,
Why are you wearing a
wow.
gown?
She's like, wow, what are you doing? I'm like,
where
I'm
you
wearing my
going?
shirt. I bought this shirt. It's still my shirt.
You know, Harry, you can go get it in your correct size. I mean, if you like it that much. I've never seen you wear this shirt, so
Well, you know, it came out the closet maybe like once a year, but now I felt I was wearing my Myrtle Beach hat, my gray Myrtle Beach hat. So I decided I was gonna go all gray today. So got my gray.
I think it's time for you to do some shopping.
No, you never.
I think it's time for you to shop. I think it's time for you to give up all these clothes. Even if you don't want to give them away, pack them away and get new shirts that fit.
I like big stuff anyway. Now it's
Harry,
really big.
This is beyond big. This is
Now it's really
Godzilla
big? Yeah, because I've always bought 2 sizes up. Now this is like 4 sizes
8
up.
sizes up.
It's like 4 sizes up. So yeah.
So yeah, just you can buy yourself new stuff, Harry. Not toilet paper, not
Talk about that.
You can buy stuff for yourself.
Talk about that. I was looking at my
Lord.
closet and I'm like, are we short on toilet paper? She's like, oh, depends what short means. Do we have 20 boxes or do we have 10 boxes? I'm like, well, I said, we are down to 10 boxes? That's what I heard. I got panicked. She said 20 or 10 boxes. I'm like, well, are we down to 10 boxes?
Oh my God. I know she's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Why did I even say anything?
It's the same thing. Yesterday my subscriptions came in, my Amazon monthly subscriptions. And I buy a bunch of lotion.
Oh gosh.
And there's just nowhere to put the lotion now. It's And she's like, maybe you should skip a couple of months.
Yeah, maybe you should.
And I'm like, well,
you know, Harry, when the apocalypse happened, lotion is going to be the least of your concerns.
hey, listen.
That's going to get left behind.
These elbows get ashy, Babz.
Harry, when you're running from zombies, I don't think ashy elbows is going to be a priority.
You don't know, Babz. My OCD is something serious. Look right now.
Harry, you are not going to stop to lotion your elbows running from zombies.
See, you reminded me now, right? Got my Aveeno here.
I'm just saying, Harry. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a less than 1.
Well,
when the apocalypse comes,
that's true.
Lotion is not going to be a priority.
You know what? And it's coming quickly, Babz. I gotta make sure I get these knees done. I've got to be able to run. Because you never know which zombies we're gonna get. World War Z.
We're gonna get to World War Z.
Those zombies. I'm done.
Yeah, we can't outrun those. Harry.
No, it's just
there's no outrunning the World War Z zombies. But the Walking Dead,
I could deal with.
Zombies, we could outrun them.
Yeah, see, that's the if I could choose a zombie apocalypse.
No, I'm not choosing World War Z.
No, that's just insane. I can't. There's no way I could outrun anything like that.
Yeah,
it's like this morning. All of a sudden, Karen showed up behind me, right? And I was like, "You scared the crap out of me." And she's like, "You don't look." She said, "You don't look scared. You didn't jump or anything." I'm like, "Well, I'm at the point in my life. You know, we have the instinct of fight or flight. I can't take flight." So I may be scared, but I only have one choice: is fight. There's no flight here. Harry ain't going nowhere.
I'm gonna square up.
That's it. I'm an anchor.
You know what, Harry? I think I feel you on that because, you know, now I got these new hips. You know, they're not for running, but
right. That's so you're able to pivot, Babz. So you're able.
You have to make some real decisions.
I'm like, Kara's like, I know you since you were young. You never had the flight. I said, but I always had the option of flight.
Now I don't have options. I have to actually square up.
That's right. And no, let me tell you, there were plenty of times I took flight. I was chased plenty of times.
Oh my God, Harry.
The scariest one was through Brighton Beach.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
And to this day it's still scary.
Yes. I got chased.
I don't care what these people say.
I was on a date with the wrong girl.
Oh. You was dating white girls, Harry?
Well, you know, I was a wingman. I didn't want to be the Babz. I was there because, you know, one of my boys was dating a white girl. And he's like, "Come on, man, let's go to the theater." Yeah, when we came out the theater, there was
them white boys was waiting with bats and all the foolishness that they, you know.
Yep.
I know.
We had to run to the Coney Island line, and right when we got to the Coney Island line, everything stopped. They turned around. They knew that was the line you can't cross.
Yeah, because they wasn't coming over. They know damn well they wasn't coming over.
Yeah, they weren't coming over that way.
It was like they didn't want that smoke. Okay, all right. Flight.
But no flight. But there ain't no flight no more.
I think I got a little flight. Like I think I could walk really fast.
Not even that fast. You know, oh my God. Myrtle Beach, I gotta say, I walked a lot.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but at the end of each day, my knees were cantaloupes. They were just like huge.
Oh, okay.
Right? And they hurt so much. Over here, the pain, I gotta say, the pain over there was from all the movement. Over here, I get inflammation. And I don't know if it's just, you know, the geographical location over here that I have no idea. Over there, my knees were fine unless I went for 4 hours of walking.
Did you have you made an appointment with your doctor? Because you've lost a considerable amount of weight.
Yeah. I haven't made that appointment. Actually, my doctor sent me an invite to a Zoom webinar on the new what do you call it, the new technology.
Oh, that's the beginning of getting you ready.
Right. So he sent me, so I need to attend that webinar.
Yeah.
And then move on from there.
Because I had to do the same thing, although I never made it to the webinar.
I want to check. Well, I want to check it out.
Oh no, you should. I was just like, I don't care what it is, just get it done. It's
like yesterday. I was like, "Ooh, if Babz could hear this, I'd be smacked upside the head." I was on the phone trying to cancel my colonoscopy next week.
Why?
Because I scheduled some shows for Paul on that
Don't
day.
put this on Paul.
And but Nora has agreed to cover those.
That's why Nora is around.
Right. So, but I was on the phone thinking to myself, "Oh, I don't want to put this on Nora." I was making excuses.
And then you heard my voice.
I heard your voice, and also Karen took off that day and scheduled appointments for her doctors on that day after my colonoscopy.
Really jammed up.
So I was really jammed up. So I was like, and when the receptionist finally picked up after 25 minutes, I hung up. I was like, "Don't do this, Harry." Don't. So yeah,
because you got everybody jammed up behind your schedule.
Yeah. So
just go get your the study came out, Harry. Colonoscopies are a good thing when people do them, but the majority of people won't do them. Ain't that the craziest thing?
And it's necessary for me. My father passed of colon cancer, and my mother is a survivor of colon cancer.
Okay.
So it's necessary for me.
So
I'm supposed to get it every 3 years.
Yeah. When's the last time you had it?
Like 6 years ago.
Harry, don't do that again.
So anyway, so I was sitting out there, and Norma asked me, why are you on hold? And I was like, well, I'm calling my doctor for the colonoscopy. I'm thinking of canceling it. And she's like, why? And I was like, oh my God, these people, people can't mind their business, right? No. So there was a guy at the table, and he told me, that they have non-invasive colonoscopies now. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, now they do it with and I'm like, wait, my doctor didn't tell me that, and I think he's gonna go in the normal way, but I need to find out about that, if there's non-invasive colonoscopies, because it's like,
well, that might be if you don't have a history of colon cancer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I have different issues.
You have a history.
I have different issues
on both sides.
Yeah.
Your mother and your father, Harry. Harry, if I hear you do this again, I swear to God, I'm coming and I'm gonna drag your ass.
That's what I said. If Babz was here, I'd be happy too. Bob and weave. Bob and weave.
Harry, go get that damn colonoscopy done. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If I hear that you have colon cancer, I'm beating your ass.
And I should learn, right? You have to learn from other people's experiences. Look at the guy, what's his name, that played Black Panther.
Oh yes, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, he was
young,
43 years old. And now the insurance companies are finally have lowered it to 45 years, right? But it's different from men of color.
If you're a man of color, Harry, and they say 45, get your ass in there at 40, 42.
Right. But the thing is that they have to approve it, right? There has to be a reason. Like, I have plenty of reason. I got plenty of reason. They can't deny me because of my history.
Like, listen, I'm a black man. That's it right there.
But yeah, that should be the reason to start at 40. But I mean, they finally lowered it to 45. It used to be 50.
Yeah.
So,
Because I had mine done when I was 50. I'm due to have it next year when I'm 60. And I was like, and when I found out, Harry, that people are resistant to having it done, not enough people are having it done in proportion to how many people that get colon cancer. I was like, what the hell is wrong with people? Harry, I don't give a damn. Whatever test I need to take, I'm taking it. I don't care about the discomfort or the inconvenience.
no, well, you know what?
I like living.
It's not even, discomfort, right? I mean, it's you put to sleep, you wake up. I've had it done twice. It's not that I'm scared of it or anything. I've had it done twice. When my father passed and my mother and everything, I was 40, maybe 43 years old, and I started it then, right? So I had it done. No, I was 40, and the doctors okayed for me to do it then. So I'm 53 now. So yeah, I think it's 4 years that I haven't had it, 4 or 5 years.
Okay, let's get on a regular schedule. What are you supposed to do it every 2 years, every three years?
Every 3 years.
Okay.
But
we don't want to be on the other side of this thing.
yeah, no. But it's the last one I had, Babz. I woke up and everybody in the room was laughing, right? The nurses and everything, and I was a little groggy, but I heard them say, "There's always one. There's always one that does something crazy," and I wonder what I was doing in my sleep. So it's like, oh,
They didn't tell you?
no, they didn't tell me. And Karen was like, well, if you thought I was next to you, you may have reached for somebody. She's like, you're very handsy, so if you thought I was next to you,
Uh-oh.
I was like, ooh, well, hopefully I didn't sexually assault anybody while I was
I
asleep.
think you would have gotten them papers in the mail.
I was like, ooh, I don't know, but there's always one that doesn't. But so look, people, go get your necessary tests and stuff.
Yes, so that you can live long and prosper.
Me, I make excuses, and it's just I hate doctors.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Hating is not liking them and loving them is not a prerequisite to anything.
It's like dentists, right? I hate going to the dentist.
I don't. It doesn't matter. What does that even have to do with getting your teeth cleaned and checked?
I hate that. I hate having my mouth open.
Yeah. Imagine having your legs open. How about that?
Oof, never mind. TMI. If I was a woman, I couldn't be a woman. I just couldn't. That I don't understand how you guys go through that stuff.
Because we want to live.
I just don't understand any of it. Like, I would be in the emergency room every month saying, "There's a lot of blood loss, doctor. Please help me. Put me on a machine," right? I know.
Honest to goodness, that's pretty much what happens to a lot of us.
It's like I don't understand it. Can't be like, "Oh, the flow is heavy this month," and I'm like, man, if I cut my head while I'm shaving and I'm bleeding too much, I'm thinking to myself, man, I wonder how many pints I've lost already. But women are different. You guys are special.
That's why we are. God knew what he was doing. Talk about intelligent design.
For real.
He's like, all right.
And never mind hatching something out of you. Oh my God. That's insane. That's insane.
Ooh.
That's why, the best thing ever created, woman.
I would agree.
Best thing.
You get no argument from me, Harry Droz.
That's why it makes no sense how the world does not appreciate women.
That's why them women are standing up in Iran right now.
And I feel so bad for them that some of them lose their lives over it. You know, instead of stopping and thinking, I don't get the whole cultures. I mean, it's not just the culture in the Middle East. You look at South,
it's culture.
It's everywhere.
It's the culture around the world.
Yeah.
This hatred of women.
Yeah, seeing them as something less than, which
Yes.
makes no sense.
None.
Which makes no sense. Now, in some cultures, they treat their pets better than their women.
Mm-hmm.
So
You get an argument from me, Harry.
I don't get it. The best thing.
Because I don't know what they think is going to happen if they get rid of all the women on the planet. I don't know.
I don't know, but in my life, when I look back at my life, everything good in my life, everything that's happened that's good, has been associated with a woman. My mother, my wife, my daughters, my granddaughters. You know, so I don't know. I don't get it. But you know, I love women.
Yes, and I appreciate that. I do. It's one of the best things about you, that you treat women so well.
Women are special.
Yeah. Well, we just like to be treated like humans.
Oh, that's a good thing. You're listening to LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. We're going to take a quick music break and we'll be right back.
Wheels keep spinning till the morning light.
Do you know if the kids have to get the COVID vaccine for school? My 5-year-old starts kindergarten this year.
It's not required, but I did get mine vaccinated to be on the safe side. There were several cases of COVID in the classes this year, and I'm happy they all stayed healthy.
I just keep wondering if the COVID vaccine is the right thing for my child.
I understand fully, and from what I've seen, there's been no major issues with my friends or their children.
The COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective, and it improves people's lives. Thanks to this vaccine, there is less spread and fewer symptoms reported by those who get infected. Now everyone over the age of 6 months can get it, and no appointment is necessary. Find out more at nhvvax.com, nhvvax.com. Make summer safer. Protect your family from COVID-19. Anyone over 9 months old can get vaxxed. No appointment necessary. Visit nhvvax.com. That's nhvvax.com for everything you need to know.
I'm New Haven Health Director Maritza Babz. If you or your family have COVID-19 symptoms or think you were exposed to someone with COVID, quarantine, stay home, and get tested on day 5 if possible. If you have COVID, isolate, wear a mask, vaccinate, get boosted, and test it as needed. Those are the best ways to stop the spread of COVID. At this time, we are vaccinating everyone ages 5 and up. Stay safe, New Haven, for all of us.
Hi, this is Babz Rawls-Ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live at newhavenindependent.org.
I wanna dance all night, Monday morning, and I'm sick of this job already. When Tuesday gets here, I'm already hoping for the hump day. Wednesday night, calling my girls, making sure our plans are still tight. Thursday brings a smile, 'cause I won't be putting up with this bull in a little while. Me and my girls, we turned it up last week. Boys love this club 'cause ladies get in free. We love to party, dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400, and we do it again. 'Cause I wanna dance all night. Oh boy, all night. It's funny, but I don't have the strength to put up with the things that my boss is expecting me to. Even though it's paying the rent, I'm not paid enough to not have an attitude. It doesn't feel right that I work so hard all day and then I'm supposed to sleep through the night. Take care of home and works out the way. So ladies, put your sexy on and tell them that we're hanging tonight. So if you handle yours like a boss like me, put your hands together so they all can see that we've come to party. Dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400, and we do it again. Dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400, and we do it. And we do it. Come get it, boy. And we do it. Come on. And we do it. Come get it, boy. And we do it.
And you handle yours like a boss. 'Cause when life tried to flip, you didn't get tossed. In them pearly whites, time to floss. Got top billing, counted the cost. Everybody knows that you a go-getter. Second with a smile as you earned your cheddar. Work real hard, and who could do better than you, Babz? You got through the week, I didn't even trip when we didn't speak. Yo, I'm JK, and I'm doing my thing with my big sis, selling like champagne.
Dance all night, work all day.
This is Ace Livingston, and you're listening to 103.5 FM, WNHH.
This song could be about love, but it's not. Cause you didn't check in his baggage. He had cash and he really looked hot. This song could be about your happiness, but you're so focused on his bait, you're gonna let a good catch get away. This song could be about how we first met, but how we gonna reminisce when you haven't got over him yet. This song could be about what you're searching for. You're looking all over town, and I'm knocking on your front door. This could be, this could be, it could be about us. This could be all about us. This could be, but it ain't gonna be about us. This could be. This song could be about our wedding day, but you just had to go to see him. That decision left me in dismay. This song should be about when I got your call saying you weren't ready for marriage, that you couldn't commit at all. This song should be about our happy years. Instead it's about when he hurt you, I was there to dry your tears. This song could be about how I'm not around. See, I came to my senses, putting my feet back on the ground. This could be, it could be about us. This could be all about us. This yeah, could be, but it ain't gonna be about us. This could be. If I cried for you one more time, somebody's taking fucking me. My friends say I was blind to lay it all on the line for you, but you didn't care, so I felt like a fool. But I'm not a fool, I'm not a fool. This could be, this could be, it could be about us. This could be all about us. Yeah, but it ain't gonna be about us, baby. I'm gonna write this song.
Welcome back to LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. It is Wednesday in the Elm, another beautiful day in the neighborhood. I can't wait to get out and be in it. So I got guests tomorrow. I'm looking forward to talking to Gorman Bouchard from, y'all know, from New Haven Docs Film Festival. So that's tomorrow, 9:15. So I start right out the gate with the guest. And then, of course, 10:15 with Enru, because ancestor love. So we'll get that in. And then Friday, I am talking to Goldie E. Patrick, who is the director of From the Mississippi Delta at the Westport Country Playhouse. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. I tell you, it's a good time to be Black in America if you're in the arts world. At least that's how it's looking from where we sit at the moment. So however way this plays out, we'll see. Broadway was very Black. A lot of the theaters around are very Black. So let's see if we can continue this this trend. Tomorrow, Friday, we say goodbye to the space at Long Wharf Theater. So if you're around, come by. There'll be all kinds of stuff happening. Reflections on what the theater meant to people over the years since its very beginning. And then Saturday, folks are going to walk from Long Wharf Theater to Audubon. I will not be in that mix, but I will meet people over at Audubon Square so that we have a block party on Saturday. And I think the weather is going to be equally nice. So I think we get rain tomorrow and then better days for the weekend. So that'll be really, really nice to sort of have really nice weather. So so that's the deal. That's the deal. That's the dealio. So if you're around, come and hang out with us at the block party on Audubon, or pop by Friday evening and catch some of the reflections and some of the, behind the scenes kinds of things at the Long Wharf Theater. So we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. But tonight, the New Haven Symphony Orchestra with Joel Thompson talking to Judge Clifton Graves about James Baldwin tonight from 6 to 8. And I believe Joel's going to do a couple of performances. He's so very talented. And I have them coming on sometime next week before the big concert at Lyman. So, we're doing the best that we can to bring you all the people that you want to hear from. Or I'm doing the best that I can to talk to all the people that I want to be talking to. How about that? So I talk to people that I want to talk to and hoping that y'all will just be along for the ride. I never think, let me talk to somebody who everybody wants to hear from. I never think of it that way. I always think, who do I want to talk to? And that's how guests get on the show. It's really about who I want to talk to. And how much time I could spend talking to them, So that's what I like to do. I never think about, I wonder if people want to hear about this. I just make the jump that whoever I'm talking to, y'all will dig it. So I don't know if that I don't know if that's the best way to go about this, but it's the only way I know to go about it. And it's the one that suits me the best. So I don't really have a rhyme or reason. I never say, I must have political guests. I must have artistic guests. I just have whoever's out there doing interesting things. And I'm like, ooh, I want to know the backstory of that. I want to know, how do they get there? What's the story? I want to know that. And so that's why this is a very, unlike a lot of other shows, I am genuinely interested in all the people that show up on this show. I'm genuinely interested in them. And what they have to say. So it's never, let me just have somebody on because, it just makes sense or it's good. I really only talk to people that I really want to be talking to. That's it. Otherwise, otherwise this would be like a job. And right now it doesn't feel like a job. It just feels like an extension of what I already do, and I think that's a strength. At least that's how it feels to me. And I hope it feels that way to people who listen, but I don't really spend a whole lot of time about who listens to me. And people ask me all that time, do I know my audience? I guess the audience is whoever tunes in. I don't know. It's funny that we get a lot of listeners from around the globe, honestly. And Harry keeps up with that kind of stuff. Paul keeps up with that kind of stuff. And I'm always amazed at where we see people listen to us, at new people who show up and listen, tune in, listen, come back and listen to us again. I like it, So shout out to all the people who are listening far and wide. We appreciate you. We know we're silly sometimes. Harry and I, we love talking about, terrestrials. We love talking about the zombie apocalypse. That's our thing. That mess is going to be really, really real. I really think the pandemic was a precursor to that. Not in a way that we as people were very unorganized. And it really called home the fact that in the movies, everybody rallies together around a foe. In the movies, we pull together for our survival. In the movies, we defeat the thing that's trying to kill us. In real life, not so much. The pandemic has showed us we do not get along well. We do not follow direction, and we are not, and we will put our own self-interest above the self-interest of others. Like, we are not about the collective. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but the pandemic bears this out. People whining about masks, simple masks that could just, cut down the spread of an airborne virus, and people wouldn't do it. And they whined. People whined about wearing a mask that will save their lives. What kind of butthole do you have to be to whine about a mask? I don't want to wear a mask. You infringing on my rights. I was like, come on. I was just stunned by people's just ridiculousness. It's like, I don't care. Wear a mask, even if there's, and then the scientists they were so outdone by people's foolishness that they were like, all right, you don't want to wear just try to stand 6 feet apart or 10 feet apart. Don't wear a mask. And the scientists was like, I don't understand this. We're telling them how to save themselves. They don't want to do it. We're exhausted. Do whatever you want. Get COVID, don't get COVID. We're done. We're done here. I just found that whole scene hilarious. And, and we all went out and bought really great masks to match our clothes. Then you found out you had to put like things in the mask just to make sure you shore it up. I mean, that was fine. We all had masks and we wore them, and flu went away. Now flu is back with the vengeance, and people were like, oh, the flu is back. You know why the flu is back? Because we're not wearing masks. If you would wear masks, then we could cut down on all this stuff. But everybody just got up in their feelings. I'm so uncomfortable. Like, being intubated is not? Okay. But being homesick, lying in the bed, damn near dead? I guess I feel this way because, when I have a severe dairy allergy, it looks very much like COVID. And it is painful and long. And I never want to suffer like that. I don't understand. I never want to suffer like that. And I know when I have a dairy episode, I just surrender to it. There is no trying to rush. There's nothing I can take that will speed it up or anything. I take a cocktail that allows me to just try to be comfortable through it. It doesn't cure it. There's no cure. There's only just trying to be comfortable through it. And that's painful. I can't stand it. So I don't know how people put themselves in harm's way that way. I don't I don't get it. And as someone who has put themselves in harm's way with dairy stuff, eating in places and trying to get them to like, okay, don't, can you wipe the grill off? Can you, and then it gets to be exhausting, and places is like, we can't accommodate that, but now places are accommodating, places ask if there are some dairy allergies that need to be, do you have any conditions that we need to be aware of? Like lots of restaurants are asking that now, which is really nice for somebody like me, I see you, Harry. I just thought you was going to say something.
I know, I'm here, but the place just got packed right outside the studio.
Oh, so you ran back in the studio?
Yeah. I was working. I was like, I guess it's me. I've spoiled everybody. Everybody sends me stuff late. Right?
Break them out of it.
Wednesdays are my pre-record shows, so people have to send me stuff. So that
usually in the studio on Wednesdays, I thought it was only Tuesday, Thursday.
Well, I'm normally not here, but today Paul has the debate.
What debate?
The probate court debate. The people running for probate.
Oh, how many people are running? I only saw signs for one guy.
I don't know. Well, there's 2 people today. I can't tell you that. I'm sure I have the names in my email.
I didn't know there was somebody else running.
Yeah, so the debate is today at either 12 or 1. I gotta look at the email.
Is Paul doing it on the show? Like,
yeah, he's doing it live here. It's gonna be in the studio. That's why I'm in the studio.
Paul didn't tell nobody nothing. Is it advertised somewhere?
I don't know. He's here right now. I'm not sure. I should probably ask him.
Is the debate a secret?
You know what? Don't go anywhere, Babz. I'll be right back.
Tell Paul. Inquiring minds want to know. I was like, we should know. We should be telling people. You want to see the probate judge debate? Tune in. I don't know what Paul's doing. Paul's like, listen, it's what I do. I had no idea there was 2 candidates. The signs in my neighborhood, this is one brother. And I don't know anything about him. So I don't know if I don't know, is he walking around asking people? I don't know. I have no idea. And how do you run for probate judge? Like, what's the protocol? I don't know. I don't know. So, I mean, do you walk around and introduce yourself to people?
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
So Paul's on the phone right now, but he said in 5 minutes he'll be in studio to explain it.
Okay.
I'm not a good messenger, so.
Yeah, no, I could tell. But if it was a zombie apocalypse, though, you'd get that out there.
Well, I'll be able to hand you a zombie machete, so you could take off the tops of their heads, Babz.
Okay,
I'll be helpful there.
I think you would be helpful there. I just got some breaking news about this from Senator Gary Winfield, who listens religiously and is a good fan.
Okay.
Gerald Barber is endorsed by the Independent Party and Republicans, so that's a no for me right there. Although the Independent Party might give me pause, the Republican Party gives me a no. And Americo Garcia.
Wait a minute. So did Gary read my emails?
And Americo Garcia is the president endorsed by the Dems. Okay. All right. So what is my choice? Somebody tell me what my choice is. Gerald Barber is an attorney, and my friend Bianca Kay is her brother-in-law, but that might not. The Democrats didn't want to support him. Okay. Why? See, that gives me pause now.
Okay.
Harry.
To be fair to me, Paul's email just tells me probate judge candidate debate.
Okay. All right.
So Harry didn't forget anything, but Harry would have, but which is why he probably gave me very little information, because he's like, Harry don't care.
Well, I want to know because I want to figure out who I want to. See, when I was a board of aldermen, the probate judges would come to us, take us out. I mean, meet with us individually. Like judge, this was my experience with Judge Keys.
See,
when he was a probate judge.
Here's my problem with your experience, Babz. Who are you to have all of this experience? This is my issue with you. What? You've been a commissioner? This, I'm done with that experience stuff. It's like you have no experience to lean on, Babz. I don't care what you've done.
It's fun. Harry, that just cracked me all the way.
Anyway,
that's been everybody's not everybody. That's been a few people's lament of me. Who the hell do I think I am? Let me tell you real quick.
No. You haven't lived, Babz. They take that term "born yesterday" as something literal. No, we weren't born yesterday, bruh.
I didn't even know this probate judge thing was becoming a thing.
Yeah.
But all right.
I mean, who was it? We had the other guy right on the show once. Who was the? A few years ago, we had a probate.
It's Judge Clifton Graves.
Right. He was running unopposed when he did it. Right.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But we did have him on.
Now everybody wants this job. Why and he's stepping down, Harry, because it has an age requirement to it. He's 70. Yes. That's the only reason why he's stepping down, because it has an age requirement. At 70, you gotta get off.
Can we pass on this idea to the Supreme Court? These lifetime appointments, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with any of that. We should be able to vote. Shouldn't we be able to vote on those positions? I mean, they're one of the branches of government. We vote on the other branches.
You know what, Harry? Honestly, I don't trust people to vote on that. I know, but I don't appreciate a sitting president out of favor who could appoint. I don't like that either. So I don't know what the third alternative could be.
Well, it's better that a democracy gets to decide than one guy that you really know doesn't know what he's doing is deciding.
But there's checks and balances with that, right, Harry? So if all things being equal,
well, unfortunately, Babz, the final check and balance when it comes to the judicial system, is the Supreme Court.
And I hate to sound like I don't know how the world works, but there's a little bit of me, Harry, that's like, come on, y'all, come on.
I just heard somebody. See, she don't know what she's talking about. She admitted it. No, anyway.
There's a little bit of me that's like,
back up off me.
It's got to work somewhere, right? Like,
no, this doesn't.
I gotta have some faith somewhere.
I know I'm sounding like a Democrat here, but I was a Democrat most of my life. I don't have a party right now, but I was a Democrat most of my life, and I prefer to vote on positions. I don't like lifetime appointments. It's the same thing with I think with congressional seats. There should be a term limit. I don't think there should be like a 4 year. Oh, now you got to go, because I don't like that with our presidents either, right? So it's like you get a good president, which, by the way, I thought in my lifetime Bill Clinton was that president, right? And you get a great president, and then he has to leave.
Yeah, well,
right? Not only does he have to leave, Babz, he has to be followed by George Bush.
Wow.
Right?
He served 8 terms. 2 terms.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I don't think that should, or it shouldn't be limited to just 2 terms.
Well, here's the other part of it too. I mean, I don't even know how to argue this point. You know what? I'm just
no, I get it.
Because voter suppression is very real. Racism is very real. White supremacy is very real. And there's a history of shutting people out of voting. So there's that
Well,
part.
the beauty it's the beauty of our country, right? Our democracy, but that we're not stuck with a king who gets to decide everything.
Well, yeah, that's why America exists,
Right.
because we ain't like that whole king situation.
Right. Yeah, we would never done with that, right? So the thing is, that's the beauty of it, but at the same time, it's like a gift and a curse, because you could be doing so great in those 8 years, and then you got the person has to go, and everything could be reversed that was being done. So
Well, I mean, if you can hold the line and convince people that your next
but
candidate
that's hard.
will be a continuation or better than the candidate that was sitting. Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, it's hard. I mean, if it was easy, Harry, I'd be president. I mean, come on.
Not that you would pick me, Babs, but I'd be your running mate.
I think we'd be good.
Okay, so we have Paul Bass in the building.
So loud.
Oh, it's loud. Sorry about that, Paul. You see, that's what you do to all your guests, Paul. But go ahead, Paul.
Is Paul jumping in? Tell us about this.
Well, first I want to know, what is the Rawls-Ivy Droz ticket? Where are you guys running for?
President and vice president
I'm
of the
in.
United States.
I'm in.
We could do this.
It's the right order. Harry will be all over the deep, dark web. So if anyone's messing with you, he's got them before they get to be a problem. He's got your back. And I think there could be some great... well, anyway. Okay. And we should make the decisions from the
Paul,
porch. That's
Paul,
where we
are
should
you
sign
not
everything.
on mic?
I'm right here.
Yeah, I hear him.
You hear him?
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess.
Oh
it's
yeah,
me.
we could have cabinet meetings on the porch.
And I think Bill's signings.
Bill signings right on the porch.
Bill signing.
You can hand out pens after the
Can you
signings.
imagine the Secret Service taking over Louisville?
That'll be messed up. All the crime will go the other side of Prospect. Yeah.
The good thing, Babs, is that the January 6ers will be looking to hang me.
Yeah, well, they're not fans of me either, Harry. So
I don't know. They might dig Babz.
They might dig Babs.
Babz is real.
I doubt it. I know one thing: they're not gonna march on my porch. I know that.
That's right.
So, all right. So tell me about these. Tell me about the judge debates. Is it really gonna be debates?
Well, the problem is we're going to have to figure out what to debate about. I mean, what do you argue about probate court? It's a bizarre. The real question I'm going to have in this debate today is, why the hell do we elect probate judges? I mean, probate court really matters. It's a very important position. You got to care about people. But like when you're looking for the best school superintendent or police chief or housing judge, you don't have elections. I mean, I guess in the South they sometimes do, and that totally screws up the criminal justice system. And, we've had very good probate judges. I love Cliff Grays, loved, Jack Keyes. So I'm going to be curious in this debate today whether we're actually going to be able to debate anything. Like, yeah, I think it's
what
real.
would be the differing opinion? Like, why would one be different than the other? Like,
I guess they're going to talk about the
philosophy?
qualifications. Yeah, what's the philosophy? Why does it matter you're Democrat or Republican about whether, like, someone's will and then the house goes to whoever, or some there should be, or there's some really sad stuff. Old people who get ripped off and they're not able to manage their own affairs. Who's in charge of them? I've been in that court when some firefighter ripped off some woman over time because she didn't know what she was doing, and because she was had dementia, and who got to look after her estate after he got.
And they handle adoptions because
Yeah.
Judge Keyes handled, out of my 4, I think he handled 3 of them.
So this is going to be, in my opinion, the most challenging debate I've ever moderated, because can it be a debate? And so I've got my challenge from Babz Rawls-Ivy, and I will try to come through if I can. How's that?
Well, I'd be interested in hearing, what people think the job is and how each one would be different in it, in terms of serving the public. Like, is there some fallout from the public about what's not happening at the probate office?
No, you don't have to change it, Harry. Harry has Fox News in our studio. It's okay, Harry. It's what you watch.
Oh, no.
Kelly McInerney.
I thought
Oh,
you
my
wanted
God.
to look at yourself on YouTube.
I don't care about looking at me. I just don't want to see Kelly McInerney at Fox
Oh,
News.
God.
Oh, my God. No, you
Well,
don't put us up.
I occasionally watch CNN and MSNBC too, but everybody's interesting.
I just thought this could be one place in America where there isn't this like Handmaid's Tale propaganda beaming at us every day.
Yeah, that's true. But we have him on all channels. There goes Paul Bass. He's a little crooked.
It's okay. I always am. Yeah. So anyway, Babz, I'm gonna do my best today.
So it's just two people.
Yeah, Americo Cartia and Jerry Barber. Gerald
Why
Barber.
are the Dems supporting
Cartia?
Americo? Yeah.
Well, I don't think Barber even sought it at the beginning. Americo just got, they didn't have any kind of primary or anything, and he got the nomination.
Well, it's obvious. Columbus Day is right there. Americo sounds too much like.
I'm not sure what his background.
The Columbus story is. No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Americo Garcia.
I
They
think
call him Archie?
No. Oh, do they?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that's what I heard you say.
No. And then Cartia. And then and then
Cartia.
Gerald Barber. So I think Jason Bartland's been behind the scenes having all these odd candidacies for the independent party.
What is he? He's the new Wendell Harp?
I don't know what this thing is, the independent party, because I'm not quite sure what it stands for. He's got people all over the map, like lefty women of color in Hartford, and then they got these like conservative people. A guy from Liberia is their governor candidate, and they had a big fight about it with Bob Stefanowski because he was their candidate last time, and he lost the line to them by one vote at a convention, and they went to court. It's kind of crazy. So Gerald Barber's the, and he's a minister, and he's been around a long time. He just won that suit against Elliker for Elliker was trying to violate the charter to keep a chief in who was rejected by the board of alders, and the Republicans have endorsed him too. So yeah, it's kind of an odd thing. So I'm going to try to suss out what party means for a probate judge.
Oh boy. Oh, and what time is this? What time should
This
we
is
tune
noon.
in?
This is noon. Yeah, you could tune in at noon. I have a feeling it's not going to be covered live by Fox, CNN, or MSNBC. So you're going to have to come to WNHH to see the wild fight of the century.
On WNHH, but go to the New Haven Independence Facebook page. I mean, you can catch it on WNHH also, but catch it on the New Haven Independence Facebook page so you can see all of our other stories there.
We were going to have a good debate, but the guy backed out for the second time. Steve Orozco running against Martin Looney. He had said, Looney won't debate me. I really want to debate. So for months, I called Marty, said, definitely. So he set up a debate on the show, and he canceled once for a business reason. He said he had another business reason today. So the probate judge.
Martin Looney is a badass. He's like, listen, you want to come for me? Come on, let's do it. Let's rumble.
That's a good point, because we did the debate for Looney last time when he was running against two people who had no chance. And they were dying to debate him. Marty said, sure. And Marty's this mild-mannered guy, right? He was pumped. So he's going against Alex Talbus, who's running, I think, as a Green or something. And,
yes.
And a Republican guy. So Harry's doing a great job with the controls. We did it online. It was during COVID and everything. So Marty came prepared. They thought they were going to kick the pulp out of this guy twice their age. So Alex Talbus used to live in Madison, and now he represents all these people with death row. He does a great job. And Marty said, so Alex, I have this quote here. You ran for office in Madison that said, Madison's a very diverse community. Alex, do you think Madison is still a very diverse community? And he was kicking him the whole time. And meanwhile, this Republican guy had his camera in his room, and no one told him how to put on a camera and not look like low lit. He looked like a zombie in Night of the Living Dead. He was off to the side with his hand around his arm, and when he wasn't talking, he looked like he had a gun under his table, and he's either going to shoot into the camera.
This is like a replay of the Nixon Kennedy.
And Marty was pumped. Marty's 70, late 70s. Marty was pumped, and he kicked these guys' butts. Their ages didn't even add up to his. So yeah, Orozco thought, because Orozco's an interesting guy and a great guy. He's he's a mixed martial arts guy. He thinks he's going to beat Marty. It was actually going to be a much closer debate than people thought, because Marty was going to come ready and be sly, because he's very competitive in his quiet way.
Yeah, he's like
that's why
he's like the smiling assassin. He loves debates. You could tell he loves to debate.
He loves debates and competition. He loves to win elections. He's been winning them for 40-something years. He knows every Heisman Trophy winner in football for the last 40 years. He knows all the details about every ward race, who won what for committee chair. He knows all the baseball statistics, football. He just loves competition. And he's this very substantive legislator. So people think of his mild-mannered Marty. Everyone can get along with him. He's a great guy. And he passes all his legislation, but he's also got this competitor in him that comes out
Marty
when he
will
gets to
shank
debate.
you. I think Marty Luther
Yeah,
will
he
shank
would.
you.
He
I
would.
think
Yeah,
he
he
would
will.
shank
He
you
would, yeah.
and
In
watch
a-
you bleed out.
In a political debate, yes. In a political debate, he's just like that. He's
And then
just
it's all
like, and he's
friends
like the
after.
only one in the room having fun.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had total fun last time. The other guys were in agony when they got their chance to debate the big state senate president. He was just having the time of his life.
Be careful what you ask for, people. Martin Looney is gonna get you.
Don't
So,
mess with
wow.
Marty. That's all I just want to say. Okay.
Is this it for the debates? Are there any more debates coming up? Debates are
don't
going
think
by the
so.
way of the dinosaur, don't you think?
You know, this Democrats are so far ahead. I think Marty's the only one who was like anxious to debate. The other Democrats won't do it. Like Pat Dillon has this woman who has no chance to win at all, but she's a very idealistic young woman, League of Women Voters, and she won't debate him because she doesn't have to. Rosa DeLauro, I think this might be the first time, because Rosa would run against Republicans who had no money, who had no time to campaign. Guy was a truck driver. She'd still go with him for one debate. She won't debate this time. She has three opponents. You know, two of them are a little bit off the wall, but they're really interesting. And one of them's not. The green guy's really interesting. And she won't debate him. And all these state Democrats running state office, because they're so far ahead, they won't debate him. I think, except for Marty Looney, I think they all deserve a demerit. I think that if you're not sure who to vote for, if you because there are definite differences on views.
Yeah,
You should
but
vote
shouldn't
for
it
who you
be
agree with.
close though? I mean, I wouldn't debate either. What's the point?
Because you have a responsibility to constituents at least once every 2 years
But
to let them know where you
But
stand
everybody
for.
knows where Rosa stands. Everybody knows.
But to give also, if you believe in democracy, so Rosa and all the
Yeah.
Democrats say the big issue there is democracy, and I think they're right. They're always saying these yucky Republicans, and they're right in some cases, right? They don't believe in the fair election. They want to have state legislators have new laws to overrule what the public doesn't vote. But in Connecticut this year, the Democrats are the biggest enemies of democracy in these elections. They are so far ahead, and because they don't have to debate, they won't. And what is more central to democracy than an election?
You know,
and what is more
I love how
central
you
to an election?
categorize that because, it sounded very Fox News, right? That they're the enemy of democracy. But I don't think so. I think if it's not a competitive race, it's not necessary, especially when you have a history.
But Harry, you get
I think I'm with you, Paul, that there is, I mean, at our core and at our foundation, debate really people should engage in debate.
At least
agree.
once.
I love debate. I love debates
And
myself.
not just because, you know why, Babz? If elections are fundamental democracy, what's more fundamental an election than hearing where candidates stand and being able to choose between differences and have to face questioning? And these Democrats will get reelected with and it's Republicans in other states, with no competition, feel like they own the seats and they're not responsive to their constituents, except for Looney, right? Looney's eager to debate, even when the other person has no chance. And yes, of course, it's the real world, like Harry says. If you're not going to lose, don't debate. Don't give them a platform. But until this year, there was a norm. The Democrats are always talking about how the Republicans break norms. They are breaking a norm. There was a norm until this year that even if you're way ahead, you're going to believe in democracy. You're not going to believe that you're just owed this seat without having to do any work for it. You have to face the voters at least once, and you have to face an opponent at least once. DeLauro once debated this guy 4 years ago. He was a really wonderful guy who admitted he had no chance. He was a truck driver out of town 6 days a week. She still did a debate with him. And it was a great debate. The guy was intelligent. You got to hear different views. And if you have no accountability once every time you run, to God forbid spend an hour answering questions and facing your opponent, then I don't believe you should be in public office. I'm sorry, Harry.
But
I know you don't see that.
I will say this. To Harry's point, though. I might, if I'm Rosa DeLauro, I might not take this on either. Because what's the point of this? Like,
because ideas matter. Because people need to know.
I think you're right.
Can I give you an example? I think it was 2002, when Charlie Pillsbury went against DeLauro. He wasn't going to win, but she had to face questions about the Iraq War, and her constituents cared about the Iraq War, and she changed her position on the Iraq War because of that. This year, there are all sorts of, she's getting stuff from the right about taxation. She has the most important job in the House in steering appropriations. Let's hear what she has to say about it. I think she would destroy her opponent on the substance of that. But let's hear it. Let's have the debate. On the left, she has Justin Paglino and the Greens saying we should have universal health care. We should have single payer. Rosa would be fine with that in theory, but she feels that's not going to pass, so she's for a more middle ground Obamacare type expansion. Let's talk about that. if you can't talk about it once in an election, this is not a democracy.
I think there are enough sides of this. Well, both sides of this is equally commanding, because I see both sides of it, and I like a spirited debate. My girlfriend Jill Zaman in Ohio heads up the debate commission, and she's having a hell of a time getting these debates done. And it has been Republicans who have been anti-debate.
That's what gets me.
And pushing back on her, and citing Fox News, and Fox News even cited her and her political stance on why these little candidates don't want to debate, because they feel like they're going to be asked unfair questions and all this other kind of stuff.
And then the norms, legal and voters, right? They're kosher, right? If we can't trust legal and voters, then we don't have democracy, right? It was the legal and voters that tried to do some of these debates. Do you know the Chamber of Commerce, to your point, Babz? Chamber of Commerce, Republicans like the Chamber of Commerce, right? Their business, right? People run it always, these suburban Republicans. They had a forum, God forbid. It wasn't even a debate. They asked all the legislative candidates from New Haven area to come to a forum. Do you know that it was like 12 Democrats and 1 Republican? And then that guy Eric always runs against Roland, but he couldn't figure out his Wi-Fi and Zoom, so he was off after 1 second. But they had exactly one Republican and a dozen Democrats, and that was the Republican Chamber of Commerce. So I think it's about norms. And I think that if the Democrats are saying the Republicans are breaking too many norms, and I think they have an argument for that, if they can't have the legal and voters have Rosa DeLauro to the most powerful federal position that in the House that we get to vote for in New Haven every 2 years that we're closest to, is if she can't come once every 2 years, even Murphy. I mean, even Murphy.
But does it have to be a debate? Can you just have Rosa on and ask all these questions, Paul?
We do. I always ask Rosa questions, but the person running against you gets to.
I will say, Paul, Gary Winfield was at the forum.
Yeah, but Gary also wouldn't do a debate against his opponent either. You know, and
the thing is,
a legitimate guy he's running.
Like if you look nationwide, where there are close races and people are refusing to debate, I have an issue with that, because now you have, 2 candidates that the people are divided over. So they should have to go in front of the people.
So I have 2 answers to you on that, Harry. I agree with you about that. The Ohio debate with Vance and Ryan was terrific.
Yeah, that was good.
Paul, Gary Winfield said that's not true. He did not reject the debate with Carlson.
Well,
he's like, set it up.
I asked him. I texted Gary. I said, your guy wants to debate.
Okay, he's like, I didn't reject the debate.
Hey, we're down for debates here.
We're the home of debates.
That's right, WNHH and New Haven Independent.
Well, here's the last point. Here's the last point to Harry. When it's not close, I would say it's just as important to have a debate, because if we want a democracy, we shouldn't have it that there's no competition. And the point of election is to give everybody a chance to be heard. And if the Republicans are not popular in New Haven, they should have a chance at election time to face their opponent and get their word out.
I hear what you're saying.
I totally agree.
To Harry's point, though, there's so many opportunities for people to talk to their constituents and to get their point out, that maybe a debate feels, archaic and old-fashioned.
But those ways are controlled.
I don't feel that way, but I could see how.
I see your point.
If I'm a candidate, listen, I don't need to put myself in crosshairs of fire. I could just talk directly to my constituents. I could set up my own forums. I could have them on air. I could do all these things. I don't need to have this conversation.
And the thing is that we don't turn down any interviews, right? So if you don't say that a Democratic opponent doesn't want to debate you, you can still come on our radio shows.
And it's true. And to Bab's point, Gary Winfield talks to everybody all the time. You see Gary everywhere. But the truth is, I love interviewing Gary, and I'm very happy he comes on. But I agree with Gary. Like, I completely agree with Gary. I can't think of a thing that I see differently from Gary Winfield, right? And that's still good that he comes on. I'll still ask him the tough question. He'll still answer the tough question. But we live in a democracy, and if year after year people get elected who think one thing and the voters get to hear.
Paul. You're pumping me up here.
Shouldn't people get to hear? I want to hear the ideas I don't agree with, and if I'm still going to believe what I believe, I want to still have that idea strengthened.
Harry's been canceled off the radio.
What?
Harry's been canceled.
Oh, you haven't been canceled?
Okay, the station manager actually pulled Harry off the air.
Really? Well, yeah, but you know that station manager. He's very intolerant of other viewpoints.
Anyway,
I got to run to edit a story, Babz. It's great. Check it in.
Oh,
I
this
love
was
LoveTalk.
a good 10, 15 minutes, a good conversation. 'cause
I'm
I had
always
no
here,
idea.
and I love to run into you at the bookstore too over the weekend. It brightens our
That
day.
was great. So
You
thank you
always
so much
brighten
for.
me.
I'm tuning into the Judge debate because I've got this is must
Paul,
see.
can you
radio.
believe that Babz has a radio show for 2 hours every day of the week? I don't.
I love it.
It's just insane.
It makes us all happy.
Who does she think she is? Anyway, thank you, Paul.
All right, I'm out
All
of
right.
here. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks, Senator Winfield. Oh Lord, Harry, play us out.
And Gary. We have a few. Robin. They're always welcome on this radio station to say whatever they want, right? So but that's not only. And these are friends of the program. I gotta admit that, but the opponents also. You want to come in to the Lions, then it's okay. Come in. That's the way.
Yeah.
That's the way you win.
That's it.
But it's on you.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And with that said, we'll be back tomorrow with more of our brand of
With more
what we do.
LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. I can't believe Babz is here. Just insane. Get out of here, Babz. Get out of here.